Well, hi there, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Rusty, and this is my channel where I talk about my favorite movies, mostly horror, and my favorite music, mostly metal. And I finally got around to doing my December and Christmas upgrade to my collection, where I get to, like everyone else has, showed off their Christmas hauls and the stuff that I ordered and received in various ways for Christmas and New Year's. And so it's the end of 2021, and I am recording this on the 8th at midnight. Yeah, we're going to get around to doing that, and as usual, we are going to start with my music CDs that I received for December. And we're going to start off with Wasp, Live in the Raw. I really wanted the new remastered version of this because it contains my two favorite Wasp songs. They're sort of tied for number one, and that is Scream Until You Like It and Harder, Faster. And yeah, so I was very glad to get the remastered version of this album. I love Wasp, as people know. And moving on, I got First Blood, Last Cuts by Wasp. It's a greatest hits album, but it's not just that. It's a remastered and remixed of some of my favorite Wasp songs, such as Wild Child and Blind in Texas and Mean Man and stuff like that are on this, remixed and remastered. So that's really cool. Blackie, love Blackie. Wasp, First Blood, Last Cuts. And this is very, very special. Now, in 1992, Wasp released an album called The Crimson Idol. It is one of the best heavy metal albums ever released. It is also one of the best concept albums, period, ever released, about a guy who has a very abusive childhood and goes on to become a rock star and gets mixed up with big bad Hollywood that ends in his, well, you can imagine the way it ends. But anyway, in 1992, they released this album called The Crimson Idol, but they also filmed hundreds of hours of footage to make an hour-long video of the album, like a video album, telling the story with an actor and actors and all that kind of stuff. And for some reason, I looked to try to find out why, but for some reason it was never released. The movie was never released. So, what was it? In the end of 2018, Blackie Lawless decided to do two things. He decided to re-record the Crimson Idol. Now, how do I feel about that? I don't know. I mean, he changed a couple of lyrics, not a whole lot, but there were a few words that he changed, one of which I actually appreciated him changing that word. Did it have to be re-recorded? It, of course, sounds technically better because it was recorded in 2018 instead of 1992. So does it sound technically better? Yes, but you're talking about a very long time, and I agree with some other reviewers who kind of say that the passion in his voice is not quite up to the original album. It's like if you could take this music and put the vocals from the original onto this one, it would be perfection. But even as it sits, I love listening to this. It's called Re-Idolized. Now, not only does it come with the recorded version of the Crimson Idol, it's so pretty, look at there, but it also comes with a big booklet, and it comes with the Blu-ray and DVD of the Crimson Idol movie that was filmed to be released with the album in 1992. So you get all of it, including the Blu-ray of the movie, which the movie is a masterpiece. Blackie Lawless is a genius in metal, as a lot of people agree with, including myself. And the movie is just absolutely fantastic. The re-recording is great. It is a joy to listen to, and I'm not saying that, it's worse or bad or, than the original. It's just a little different, and it doesn't sound as passionate, but it is close enough that I think you would have to hear someone say it and really pay attention for it to, really, for you to even notice it. And even then, it's not even enough to really matter. So if you can get your hands on it, this is an absolutely wonderful thing. Wasp re-idolized the re-recording along with the DVD and Blu-ray release of the Crimson Idol movie, which is fantastic. Now, one of my favorite metal bands called Lords of Black came out with a new album. It came out in November, but they were sold out, and they stayed sold out for a month, which, after listening to it, but I've got every album they've done. This is like a month old now. It's called Alchemy of Souls Part 2. The first album, Alchemy of Souls Part 1, and then this is Alchemy of Souls Part 2. It is absolutely a fantastic masterpiece of traditional heavy metal mixed with a little prog and speed and power metal. But it's mostly just traditional heavy metal. Like, they're sort of like Dio, Black Sabbath, Ozzy, but they have a harder edge with some speed and power metal thrown in and a little bit of prog. And it is an absolutely phenomenal group. I love them. I want to do a video of some of their songs. And so, yeah, Alchemy of Souls Part 2, Lords of Black. Yes. And finally, the last one I got to come in is Black Veil Brides, The Phantom Tomorrow. Now, I love Black Veil Brides. I've got every album they've done. We had to wait a year for this because of the pandemic. It got delayed for almost a year before they were able to release it because they wanted to tour with it, of course. So, Black Veil Brides, The Phantom Tomorrow. It is a phenomenal album. I absolutely love it. It doesn't seem to me to be quite as hard as their earlier albums, but it's certainly not like poppy or anything. And it was only like going down from a 10 to a 9. You know what I mean? As far as hardness goes. But it works. I love this album. I love every track on it. It's hard through and through, and it's their typical power metal, but like I said, I think they brought it down to a little bit more traditional metal than the power metal of their former albums, but it's still hardcore metal. So yeah, Black Veil Brides, The Phantom Tomorrow. Waited a year for them to come out with this. It finally released, and I jumped right on it. So that's the music that I got, the 3 Wasp CDs, re-idolized box set, which cost me a pretty penny. But it's damn sure worth it, and I loved finally getting to see the movie, because the movie is just absolutely mesmerizing. First Blood, Last Cuts with the remastered tracks of some of my favorite Wasp songs, and Live in the Raw, which has my 2 favorite Wasp songs on it. Then we had Lords of Black, Alchemy of Souls Part 2, and Black Veil Brides, The Phantom Tomorrow. And now we can move on to the movies. Okay, so how do we want to do this? Let's start with the DVDs. Okay, so what do we got? Alright, this is so cheesy, or people may accuse me of being cheesy, but I absolutely love this movie, and I don't know why, but I do from the very first time I saw it. I don't know which one of those Olsen twins. I mean, I'd have to look, and I don't know if it's Mary Kay or the other one. I don't know which one it is, but she is phenomenal in this movie, and that's the Beastly. I know PG 13, uh, what do they call them? Young adult, whatever. But I fucking love this movie. Like the first time I saw it, I was just mesmerized by the theme. It's Beauty and the Beast, of course, but it's been like reworked. And like I said, the Olsen twin who plays the witch in this movie, she was phenomenal. I was just like, that bitch was good. You know what I'm saying? I liked everything about this movie. Neil Patrick Harris is in it, which is kind of funny. He plays a blind guy. It's really cute. But yeah, this whole movie, try not to let its cheesiness or what you may think of as cheesiness. Oh, is that a little girly chick flick or something? Uh, no, it's phenomenal. It really is. And I really love Beastly. And so I was glad to finally get my hands on it. This is a little indie horror movie. You know me and my indies and finding little out of the way movies. This is a little slasher called The Ripping. And yeah, I had had it on my wish list for a while. I wanted to grab it. Like I said, I give very fair shakes. I support indie filmmaking and indie filmmakers and indie films by purchasing them in whatever way they're available. I was able to find the DVD for this. Pure Evil Never Dies. But it looks real good. Now I'll admit that other than the replacements, I haven't seen any of these. But yeah, it's a cool little horror movie called The Ripping. Okay. There's too many to do a recap at the end, so I'm going to spend a little extra time on each one. For those who see it later, you'll just have to start from the beginning. The Ripping. That's going to be cool. This movie I read about and watched the trailers and read the synopsis and everything, and it's called Deliver Us from Evil. A little possession type movie mixed with a little, I heard it was a little like Seven, mixed with, The Exorcist kind of thing. So Deliver Us from Evil. I heard it was absolutely great. We're going to do the glare thing tonight. I can aim it towards the red light. So yeah, Deliver Us from Evil. Okay, this is another little indie about teens. It's rated R, but it's about teens left over after an apocalypse. Zombie apocalypse, I guess, or a plague or something, called Don't Grow Up. I read good, acceptable things to me and my tastes about it, and I love the trailer. Yes, Don't Grow Up. This is the older film. It's not the original, it's the first remake, called Mortuary. A Tobe Hooper film. And I know that a lot of people love the original, and I do too, but I also really like this remake of Mortuary, so I'm glad to finally have it. You could get the DVD very reasonably. The Blu-ray was way up there. Sometimes that happens, but I love DVD too, so it's alright. So we have Tobe Hooper's Mortuary. The Clove Hitch Killer. Dylan McDermott. I read a lot of good things about it. The Clove Hitch Killer is a serial killer movie. So yeah, glad to have it. The Clove Hitch Killer. Alright, what is this? Okay, I got the Danny Trejo movies. We have Dead in Tombstone, unrated horror westerns. Not a lot of horror westerns, so I actually just found a couple of others that I ordered. They'll be in January's update. Dead in Tombstone unrated, and Dead Again in Tombstone. It's a double feature. Why not have them both, yeah? Danny Trejo, Jake Busey. Yeah, Danny Trejo. So we have Dead in Tombstone and Dead Again in Tombstone. Yum. I think they'll be fun. I'm trying to complete my Hatchet. I've got the first Hatchet, so I got around to getting Hatchet 2. Now, of course, I need the rest, but I'll slowly get them. Don't worry about it. So, Hatchet 2, unrated director's cut. Does that have Danielle Harris in it too? I don't know. And this is a sci-fi horror movie called The Endless. It is a masterpiece. I really love it. It's about a couple of kids who were raised in a cult, a religious cult, kinda religious cult. And when they escape, and when they're an adults, they decide to go back to the cult, to where the cult was, to like see, just out of curiosity. And everybody is still there. And creepily enough, everybody still kind of looks the same. And shit happens. So I really loved this movie. I have seen it. And I will do a video on it eventually. Like everything else, if I live long enough. So, The Endless. Alright, we can now move on to the DVDs, and I will start with something I've wanted for a while. And that is, I finally sat down and tracked down all of the Spartacus. Now, what freaked me out about this when it came was I had no idea. So far in my big 1600 movie collection, my favorite packaging of any show has been the Lord of the Rings trilogy. I've got the ones that look like a book in your bookshelf, and the extended versions of all three of the original Lord of the Ring trilogy. And that was my favorite packaging. And I haven't seen anything as beautiful until this. These are just beautiful. These are the Blu-rays. And they are hardback, like a book. And I just was like, I didn't expect that, and when they came I was like, it's embossed, and it's like beautiful golden, and they're books. So I got Gods of the Arena, which is a prequel after the first one, when the poor guy got sick. They made this. So it was the second one made, but it's the one you watch first because you want to watch them in timeline order. Then we have the beautiful Spartacus Blood and Sand, the first season, done the same way with the beautiful book, hardback. Lucy Lawless there. These are the Blu-ray. All of these are Blu-rays. And we have part 2, where we begin one of the greatest gay love stories ever, and we know who we're talking about. But it too has the beautiful book style. Very, very hard. It'd be hard to mess these up, which is what I like about them. It's such a beautiful package. This is Spartacus Vengeance, Blu-ray. And the final season, which is the only one that really cost me. The others I found pretty reasonable, but I kind of had to pay a little bit to get the last season, War of the Damned. And that's the final season. Also in these beautiful embossed, I just love the embossing. The beautiful embossed book form, holding all of the DVDs. I love Spartacus. Another series that I really want is called Black Sails. It's the pirate one. If you've ever seen Black Sails, I just wish they were. I hope they're packaged like this or something similar. So yes, that's the entire Spartacus series in these beautiful embossed book form Blu-rays. So yes. Okay, moving on. I picked up a couple of movies. I am into the comic universes. I really don't play the DC independent Marvel game. I really don't play any of that. I like comic movies, and if I like the comic movie, I don't really give a shit what universe it's in. But so yeah, I picked up Wonder Woman 1984, the Blu-ray set, and I heard that it was like mediocre compared to the first one, but we'll see. I was gonna get it anyway. Now this one I really had not planned on getting, because I was never really in. I mean, I'm not a completionist in that regard. If I really didn't have any interest, I didn't. So I really hadn't planned on getting this, and then I heard the story. First of all, my brother loves it and says that it's a really good movie. But you see, I'm a comic book fan. I've got a huge comic collection, as you could, of course I do. And a huge baseball card collection, and a huge Magic the Gathering card collection, and a huge comic universe trading cards collection, and Conan the Barbarian and fantasy cards, and I'm a collector, okay? But I was never really into the Black Panther comics, and so I really had just never really had much of an interest in this. Then I heard the very sad story about him being sick while making it, not telling them because he wanted to leave a legacy and be remembered and be part of the MCU, right? Yeah, MCU. And that made me very sad when my brother told me about it, and I was really glad that he got to leave that legacy. So when I found out that he was dead, I was like, that's fucked up. That's really fucked up. And you know what? I want it. I want the Blu-ray for my collection, but also in memory of him and what he wanted to do, which was leave his name and legacy. And I think that that is really great. So I'm sure that I will like it. I didn't say I hated it or anything. I just said I didn't really have any fiery interest in it. But I'm sure I'll love it, and I wanted it in my collection because of his story, and I thought that it was really sad. And I can't wait to, see it and experience the movie, because I'm sure my brother loves it. He said it will be good. Now, I replaced my DVD. I had the Omen collection, all on DVD, and it was one that I wanted to replace. So I ended up buying the Omen collection, and yeah, it's got all 4 movies. It doesn't have the one with the little girl, which is cool because I hate that. I had no interest in that. But it's got, the original Omen. It's got Damien Omen 2, which is my favorite. It's got The Final Conflict, which I love. And it's got the 2006 remake of the original, which is my second favorite. I know, heresy, burn him at the stake, but I actually like the 2006 remake of The Omen better than the original, although I adore the original as well. No skin against the original, but I just like the 2006 a lot better. Now I'm going to, as I've discussed in other videos, I don't really mess with those really super expensive collector sites like Severin Films and Mondo Macabre and all of that. I'm too poor to be that kind of collector. But I did finally get the Mondo Macabre Blu-ray of The Inheritors. I really wanted this movie. It's a very shocking and controversial movie from the 80s, and I wanted it in my collection. And so I remember seeing it a long time ago and just loving it. So, yeah, I get the new Blu-ray of The Inheritors, and that cost me out the ass, okay? That right there cost me like 25 bucks to get it. So you got to be a really special movie for me to get something like that. So Mondo Macabre, it's the only one of them I've got that I know of. I mean, I could have picked something up off eBay that I'm not aware of. But, and that's where I found this, brand new. So I didn't buy it from their actual site. And then there is this movie. It's a movie called In a Glass Cage. Now, In a Glass Cage is a horror movie that is sort of like, it's a more intense version of Apt Pupil by Stephen King. This cost me kind of like that one did. It's very rare, and it's the Blu-ray for In a Glass Cage. And it's about a boy, a young guy like in Apt Pupil, who finds out that he is in the presence of a Nazi war criminal. And he begins to start emulating him, pushing him for information, and losing his mind, wanting to be a serial killer and do violent things, just like Apt Pupil. It's kind of got the same storyline as Apt Pupil by Stephen King. So I've always wanted that. So that was one of my special Christmas gifts along with The Inheritors. And cost me about as much too. Alright, what's next? Chloe Grace Moretz. I've got a lot of her movies. I guess it's time for her to get her own section. But I got her little sci-fi movie called The Fifth Wave. The fifth. In my accent, we don't say the TH sound. It's very difficult. It's like a tree. There's tree birds in the tree. I don't know. But The Fifth Wave, little sci-fi movie. Is this PG-13 or something? I don't know. But I heard it was alright. So, yeah. The Fifth Wave. I have got Incarnate, which is a little horror movie. I guess I should move closer to the camera. Incarnate. I think that'll be cool. Get Fifth Wave a little closer. Okay. This is a little movie with Rainn Wilson. I really liked him in the 2015's The Boy. And it's called Don't Tell a Soul. So, from what I understand, it's about a guy who gets trapped down in a hole, and these two people, young people, kind of keep him trapped there up to some nefarious reason. But yeah, I think that's going to be cool. Don't Tell a Soul. Now, if you know any of these movies or can tell me anything about them, you can write them down there. I loved this movie. I saw it quite a while back when it first came out, and I really loved it, and so I saw it available brand new, and so I got it. It's called Nocturnal Animals with Jake Gyllenhaal. So that it's a mind fuck is what that is, and I love it. So Nocturnal Animals with Jake Gyllenhaal. This is a movie called The Barons, and the reason that I got it was because the guy who plays Robbie in Scream 4, I kind of have a, and in Jericho, I kind of have a thing for him. So I kind of looked up his thing, and I ended up getting two movies because it's got him in it, and I wanted, sometimes I will collect uh, people's catalogs, like a certain actor. But it's a little horror movie called The Barons, based around the Jersey Devil mythos. And I heard it was really good, or I read that it was really good, acceptable to me. So The Barons, and this one, which I was never going to get, but hair check. But Saw 2. But I didn't think you liked the Saw series. I don't. I like the first Saw. It's a masterpiece. Jigsaw. And I really did like Spiral. But I don't really care for the, torture porn. And so I really never had any interest in the rest of them. Except I found out that Saw 2 has the guy in it. Yes, it's part of his catalog. So I'm like, okay, I've seen Saw 2. It's alright. It's not super thrilling to me, but it's fine. Hell, remember, I'm a budget shopper, so I was able to find it brand new Blu-ray for like $5.99, $6.99. So it's not like I spent a huge amount of money to get it. But yeah, Saw 2, I like it. It's alright. Unrated edition. Oh my god, I wonder what else that's got in it. Now, I really love this movie. I've got it on DVD, so it's a replacement. I wanted it on Blu-ray because I love it so much, and that's Brad Pitt and Casey Affleck in The Assassination of Jesse James. That is a fantastic Western. I do love my Westerns. So I really love this movie. Brad Pitt is phenomenal. Casey Affleck is an asshole like he is in most of his movies. You love to hate him. But yeah, Brad Pitt, Casey Affleck, The Assassination of Jesse James on Blu-ray to replace my DVD. I also replaced two DVDs in one shot by getting this Sam Jackson triple feature, and that's Deep Blue Sea, The Long Kiss Goodnight, and Snakes on a Plane. Now, I've never seen Snakes on a Plane. I really am not into that kind of stuff. I don't know if it's like action comedy, horror comedy, or a little mixture of both is what I was told, but I've never seen it. But the point is that I wanted to replace Deep Blue Sea and The Long Kiss Goodnight, both of which are way up, like in my top, where would I put them? The Long Kiss Goodnight and Deep Blue Sea would probably both be in my top 40 movies of all times ever created, but action, The Long Kiss Goodnight would be in the top 10, and in ocean-based horror, Deep Blue Sea would definitely be right there under Jaws. So yeah, and this is a very good pack because all discs are separate. They are not, so it's okay. They are not packed onto one DVD, so they're perfect transfers. So you have to watch those packs, because if you get like 4, 5, 6 movies and they're only on one DVD or one CD, you got shitty transfers to fit. Even on a Blu-ray, if you have more than 2 movies on an individual Blu-ray, you have lost some transfer quality. But this is a really good pack if you love Sam Jackson. I'm sure I'll like Snakes on a Plane. It's just like I said about Black Panther. just some movies, I just don't burn for. You got to like, ooh, I can't wait to see that. Well, I was never that way about Snakes on a Plane, but I'm sure I'll find it funny and interesting and have fun with it. So yeah, we got Deep Blue Sea on Blu-ray finally. I also really like the third one, the third Deep Blue Sea. I didn't bother with the second one though because it sucks. But yeah, The Long Kiss Goodnight is one of the best action movies ever made with Gina Davis and Sam Jackson. So it's phenomenal. Moving on. Okay. Everybody knows I like Tom Cruise as an actor. I do not know him personally, and I don't really give a shit what he does as long as he plays, as long as he does good movies. So I have been replacing, lately I've been replacing some of my favorite movies of his. I can't see from here, but I've already replaced several, and there's quite a few more that I want to replace. I know I just ordered Born on the 4th of July to replace it. American Made, I replaced that as well. I would like to replace Jack Reacher and all the Mission Impossibles too, although I think all my Mission Impossibles are already Blu-rays. That's what I mean. I'll have to look through and see which ones need to be replaced. But in any event, I got Far and Away, which I absolutely love this movie. It is a fantastic drama, adventure drama. Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman are absolutely phenomenal in this movie. So I love it. I don't care what you think, okay? And Tom Cruise and Morgan Freeman in Oblivion. It's one of the best little slow burn sci-fi movies that I've ever seen. I love it. So I replaced my DVD with the Blu-ray of it. I love it. I know people have issues with certain actors who, the big controversial ones, Shia LaBeouf, John Travolta, Tom Cruise. I know there's like certain actors that people have issue with and whatever. I'm able to separate the person from the role if I like them in a role. In other words, I don't see Tom Cruise. I see this character. And I don't see Tom Cruise. I see this character. That's who this is. If I lust after this character, I'm not lusting after Tom Cruise. I'm lusting after this character. So it kind of works that way with me. I think collectors have the ability to do that if you're more than just a mainstream mediocre fan. This is Gutterballs, of course, the collector's edition that came. I already did a video on it, so you can go and look at my videos to see my review and breakdown and storytelling. My story time. I love this movie. It is so over the top wackiness, and yeah, so that's the collector's edition of Gutterballs. This is Merantu. I love my action movies like The Raid and The Raid 2. This is him, Iko Uwe. I love Iko Uwe, so I've gotten every one of his movies now. Every one of his action movies, I'm sorry. He's in one comedy movie, but I haven't got it yet. But I love his action movies. Headshot and The Raid and The Raid 2. He is like my favorite MMA, mixed martial arts thing. Guy, actor, individual, performer, entertainer. So, Marantu, I got it on Blu-ray. The 30th anniversary edition. I know there's other editions and people, it's, oh my god, you don't have the 4K or something, whatever. I get around to stuff when I get around to it. So I wanted Halloween 2, the 30th anniversary edition. So I got that on Blu-ray. to start collecting my Halloweens on Blu-ray. Yes, Halloween 2, the 30th anniversary edition on Blu-ray. Yes. This is a replacement, so is that. But this is a replacement for one of my favorite slasher, well, not slasher, I don't know, home invasion. Last House on the Left, unrated. This is the remake. And I have it on Blu-ray. I have also, did I do a video on this? I think I did. I don't know. If I didn't, I will. But I think I did. But in any event, this is the Blu-ray. I wanted to replace my DVD. I replaced my special movies. I have been lately. This is also a replacement. It's called The Eagle, the unrated version. Jamie Bell, Channing Tatum. Channing Tatum. And I really love this movie, especially the unrated version. Please stop chopping shit down to PG-13 so that, you know, we have to wait for you to release the actual movie. So, yeah. Channing Tatum, and I have problems with that name. And Jamie Bell, yum. Candy. Give me candy. But that is a fantastic Roman, you know, times movie. This I have not watched yet because I wasn't sure I would be able to. My brother says that he tries to puke every time he watches it. I've never seen a FPS, first person shooter. I guess you would call these FPM, first person, or FPF, first person film. But this is Hardcore Henry. I've never seen a first person movie like that from the perspective of the protagonist's eyes, and I have a feeling that there's a possibility me and my sinuses will not like it, and that not the movie, because I watched the trailer and I'm like, well, you know, I'm handling the trailer, but I could always like resize the screen to where it's not as big and busy, you know. So I loved the trailer and I loved the action in the trailer. And but he said when he tried to watch it, it made him nauseous and he had to cut it off. But I think I'll be able to handle it because I'll just resize the screen if it, you know, makes me nauseous. But I heard it was fantastic. So Hardcore Henry, that was my first person film, and we've got one little stack left. A little war movie, Zero Dark 30, from the guy who did The Hurt Locker. I love my war movies. I just ordered all 4 Jarheads, so I'm catching up on my war movies. But Zero Dark 30, I got that on Blu-ray. Yep. And we're replacing our Terminator, because I'm going to do the franchise soon. So, we're replacing our Terminator, all my Terminator DVDs. We've got the Terminator, the original Terminator. Yep. We have T2, the special edition, the extended cut. It's the only one you can watch that makes, you know, you have to watch the extended cut. And we have T3, which I love. I don't care what anybody says. Rise of the Machines, T3. And we have the director's cut of Terminator Salvation, which I liked it. It was alright. I didn't have a huge problem with it. And then we have Dark Fate. Now that still leaves Genesis for me to get. But yeah, the Terminator, Dark Fate. I don't know if I'll like it or not. I mean, some people have shit on it. I don't know. I won't know until I know. This is a movie that I've wanted for a while. I love Mila Jovovich, and I love Lucy Liu, and I love James Franco, so it works out fine. And this is called Future World, with the three people I just named: Mila Jovovich, Lucy Liu. I of course went and looked at her catalog because I just done the Resident Evil series, and it made me go, has she done anything that I don't know about? Like, I've got The Perfect Getaway, which she's phenomenal in, and a bunch of other movies that she's in. Then I found this little gem that I did not know about. It's got high ratings and good reviews. It just kind of went over my head. I didn't know about it. So yeah, Future World, Mila Jovovich, James Franco. Post-apocalyptic setting. And we have Sean Penn, one of his new movies, The Gunman. I like Sean Penn. I fell for Sean Penn with Fast Times at Ridgemont High. And I've never really had a problem with him. Did he win an Oscar for Milk? If he didn't, he should have won an Oscar for Milk. Falcon and the Snowman. Sean Penn is a great actor in my opinion. So I had no problem grabbing this. I mean, there are people who talk about their favorite places to buy. There is a seller. I don't know. I don't know if I want to say that, because you people may run and buy movies out from under me. Okay. There's a seller. He actually they're big, I guess. They're called Groove, GRUV dash Entertainment, and they're actually hooked through Walmart as well. Like, if you buy movies from Walmart online, a lot of the movies are sold by Groove Entertainment, and they also have a eBay store that I attack on a regular basis. I actually stopped buying movies through Walmart online of theirs as a distributor. They're a distributor, of course, because on eBay they have a two or more 20% off. Now, 20% off, you have to remember, I mean, if it's $10, that's $2. So you get a $10 movie for $8. That's a decent sell. That's a decent discount. We're not talking 2%, we're talking 20%. So whenever you buy a movie from Groove Entertainment through eBay, it's 20% off if you buy two or more. So if you buy 5 movies, you get 20% knocked off the price. So that's one of my favorite sellers. I buy from anybody and everybody as long as they got decent ratings. I don't buy from Amazon. I try not to have anything to do with Amazon. Although, irritatingly enough, a lot of things that you buy on eBay, they show up in fucking Amazon packages. So you know the person is like third party selling, and that does kind of piss me off. And sometimes you'll see in their review, in their ratings, their feedback, you'll often see where it says, somebody, it will write, they'll give them a positive thing because they're like, hey, it's a great item, it's as described, it's fine, but you know what, if I wanted to support Amazon and Jim Bezos, I would go and buy from Amazon, and I don't appreciate you selling through eBay and then just being a third party seller and then shipping my crap, which basically means they're selling it. They maybe have Amazon Prime or something. So what they're doing is they're like they're putting this movie up on eBay for $6.99, but because they have Amazon Prime, they get it for whatever you people with Amazon Prime get it for, like free shipping and what else? You might get a discount or something. I don't know about having Amazon Prime, but they'll put it on eBay. That's what's called third party selling. So they are on eBay. They put this movie up on eBay for $7.99, but they buy it from Amazon for $5.99, and with their Amazon Prime free shipping and all, they ship it to you. That's called third party selling, which means, granted, you didn't pay Amazon $5.99, but your $5.99 got to Jim Bezos' pocket without your permission. So I don't really appreciate that either, but you don't know it until it's there. So, I mean, it's not like I'm standing out with a placard protesting Amazon. I just don't like them, and I find a lot better deals on eBay. And I don't know. It's my business, right? It's my choice. I don't like Amazon Prime. I get pretty much everything: my clothes, my shirts, my jewelry, my bling, my music. Pretty much everything that I buy, I get through eBay because I'm an eBay junkie. I've got a feedback rating, 100%, and it's like I've got more feedback, positive feedback, and I've never sold anything on eBay. But I've got a higher feedback rating and a higher feedback number than a lot of sellers that I buy from, because that's I've been attacking eBay for 12 years, so that's kind of interesting that I'll buy from a seller and they've got like 1,000 positive feedbacks and I've got 2,600 positive feedbacks. It's like, yeah, I've been around a while, and so yeah. Anything else to bitch about or take a lay-by? I've already got 4 movies that came in over there, but they just came in yesterday, so they're part of January's collection update, so you don't get to know what they are till next month with all the other crap that comes and music that comes. I've ordered a bunch of CDs. I ordered 4 Megadeth CDs because I've really got back into Megadeth here lately, thanks to Nick Cooling at his channel, who's been doing a lot of Megadeth reviews, and it reminded me how much I love them, so I drug out all of my Megadeth CDs and went checking to see if there were remastered versions, and there were. So I think I bought 4 remastered versions of Megadeth albums, so that will be coming in January. Whenever they get here, they're already bought, paid for, and on the way, I assume. But yeah, so that's my huge Christmas update. The fuck, man? The fuck? What's up? Do you have any kind of life outside of this? No. Not really. So yeah, thank you very much for tuning in. This was a little longer than usual, but it was Christmas for gosh sake, so I had a lot more than usual. Now I can put these into their appropriate sections in the library, which is my home, which is actually, they should just bring a Blockbuster sign and put over my front door and say, well, you can't rent from him or anything, but it looks like a Blockbuster in there, so you might as well go and just look for curiosity's sake. It would remind you of what it was like to be in a Blockbuster. Like if you had nostalgic feelings, you could come to my house and I'll let you walk around my house and you can just feel like you're in a Blockbuster, and maybe it will give you a nostalgia happy. Yeah? Okay. So that's my January and Christmas haul update. I really thank you for dropping by. I love you all very, very much. And what's my 2 tags? And that is always support indie films, indie filmmakers by buying the DVDs, Blu-rays, digital, however you can support them. Support indie filmmakers, support indie horror films, and yeah, and Number 2, you are a very, very special person. Each and every one of you, looking right there, you right there. You're a very special, unique individual. You are the only one of you on this entire planet. So no matter what anybody is saying or doing to you, or no matter what the world in general is doing to you, you are the only you, and you are a very special, wonderful, unique individual. Show it, love it, be it, enjoy it, and shove it down their fucking throats. I will see you in the next video, hopefully. Thank you, love you, miss you, bye. And I will see you next shortly. Bye-bye.